Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to Guiseley AFC Radio. We're here at Nethermore for the crucial Vanarama National League game between Guiseley AFC and Lincoln City. And of course, we are in the company of BT Sport as well. Alongside me is Dave Kendra. We're going to be bringing you all the build-up over the next 15 minutes or so. We're going to squeeze in the interview with Mark Bauer as well after the Braintree game on Saturday. Of course, 7:45 kickoff. We thought, Dave, we may have seen a delayed kickoff. Doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, yes, word on the street. Lincoln City's coach arrived just after 7 o'clock. So it's pretty much chaos around there in terms of getting team sheets and things in time, get all the necessary paperwork done. We've got no word on whether there will be definitely or not a delayed kickoff. It's apparently, word on the street, not down to the referee.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's basically down to BT more than the referee. Obviously, the referee has got the say on whether or not what is an allotted time or a suitable amount of time to warm up. But from what we understand, the referee has said that the amount of time they've had is sufficient, and that as far as BT are concerned, they're good to go at 7:45.
I hate to hark back to past glories, Chris, but this doesn't half remind me of Chorley.
It is a little bit like that, isn't it?
And the boot on the other foot this time, and Guiseley were made to have a limited warm-up before that game, and paid for it in the first half.
Absolutely, and look how that turned out, though.
I'm
not
not
sure
sure
in the
whether that's a
first,
good
but we
analogy.
did all right in the second.
I'm not sure that's a good analogy after all.
So let's bring things back to a slight bit of normality. Lincoln City, 2 places and 2 points ahead of us in this game. A side that are very much aiming for the playoffs. Guiseley, off the back of their first away win on Saturday, it's set up for me for being quite a good game.
Yeah, it should be a good game, and there's only 2 places in between the teams, but I think it'll be 2 teams with very different outlooks on those positions. Guiseley will be happy to be where they are. I mean, we certainly are. We'd have taken that at the beginning of the season,
very much so,
wouldn't we? Whereas Lincoln will feel that they're slightly underachieving and should be doing slightly better. But so I mean, yeah, Guiseley have got all the momentum. They got that tough away win against Braintree. It was a hard-fought victory. It was a well thought out and well played victory as well. Against another team who's had an excellent start to the season. Whereas Lincoln will be looking to improve, especially in front of the cameras tonight. They've got a lot to live up to.
Lincoln have been in a decent bit of form of late. They beat Torquay on Saturday 2-0. I'll say they've got strikers in the form of Matt Reed, 9 goals this season. Liam Hearn, who, let's be fair, when he was at Alfreton, terrorised Guiseley on a couple of occasions. He's got 5 for the season. So there's 2 men there that we are going to have to watch with whoever is at centre half. We expect Adam Lockwood, Rob Atkinson, as it has been, or I can't remember. I'm trying to think.
I mean,
where were we on Saturday?
In terms of dedicated centre backs, Guiseley have. I think they've Danny Hall basically, and he's injured at the moment, as far as I'm aware. There's Jake Lawler could drop back in, but to be honest, after the performance against Braintree with Atkinson and Lockwood at the back, there's no real need to change it. I don't think.
And you don't expect an unchanged lineup tonight, perhaps on the back of that first away win?
Again, why not? Presuming that everybody's fit and well, I don't see any massive reason to change anything from the weekend. Dickinson still had another good performance. He did go off at Braintree, maybe just carrying a little knock, but he's been warming up tonight. He looks fine. He's been moving around okay. So I would expect him to start tonight. George Maris had another decent game. He's a very young player, very quick player, cuts inside. He could cause Lincoln some real damage tonight. So, basically, I don't see any reason to change it. It's working so far.
Absolutely. Well, we're here now from the Guiseley manager, Mark Bauer. I spoke to him after the 1-0 win at Braintree.
Fantastic result, coming away from home against a team that started the weekend in fifth place. and being on a really good run themselves. So a fantastic win from the lads. I thought we controlled the game first half. I thought we moved the ball really well without really creating too much. But you just felt that the way they were having to chase us, it was almost like we were wearing them down. Then in the second half, we've shown a different side to our game. Stood up to what they had to throw at us. I think Drenches just had to make one outstanding save, which from a deflected shot, which is Tom. And they've just helped to make that difference and perhaps capitalise on their tired legs. And fantastic poachers finish from Tom. Just an all-round really good, solid, professional away performance from us.
You spoke about the first half there where we had a lot of the ball, but we were struggling to do with it. What changed in the second half for you?
You never ever get 2 hours of football the same. They were clearly trying to stop the way we were playing. If you're a home team, you don't want anyone coming and dominating possession like we did, controlling the tempo of the game. Keeping the ball in the first half the way we did is not necessarily a way of going and scoring 2-3 goals in the first half. Obviously, we'd like to do that, but as the game goes on, when you've done that, it wears the opposition down. Second half, they came out and changed their formation to sort of match ours up and got on top a little bit. And they're going to have a spell. They're fifth in the table. They're going to have a spell against us, but we stood up to that really well. And then we got our chance, and Tom took it really well.
We've taken some good points on the road this season, but first away win.
Yeah, I think it's long overdue really from the performances we put in. We should have beaten Welling. I think we should have beaten Chester, and I think we should have beaten Torquay as well. So it's been a long time coming, but it's a great feeling. Some great support down here today. Again, they made themselves heard, and the lads really appreciate that. But yeah, we've only lost one away from home all season. Only lost three in total, and Forest Green have lost that many now. So we're not a million miles away from being a really good, effective team at this level. It's just those fine margins, and today we got those fine margins right. Defended really well at one end, and found the finish at the other.
Unbeaten in 7 as well. It's nice to see that it's not 6 draws and 1 win. We've got another win on.
Definitely, yeah, it makes such a difference. But what it does do, if you can stay unbeaten, when you do pick up those wins, it can make a massive difference. I would imagine we've gone up 3 or 4 places in the table today, and like you say, 7 unbeaten. We're really pleased to get the win, and had a chat after the game, gone into the dressing room, and 7 unbeaten not being mentioned, and one of the lads just shouted, "Hey, we're 7 unbeaten." So it's almost been forgotten about, but it's good signs, and we've looked solid defensively in the last couple of weeks. Only a long range goal against Southport has done us on Tuesday night, when I don't think they had an effort on goal from inside our area on Tuesday night. So we started the same way we started that game on Tuesday, because I thought we looked really solid, and coming to a place like this, I felt that was the thing that we needed to do, and we started like that, and obviously then we've been able to introduce a few of the changes later on, which has won us a game.
In terms of the league table, we're up to 13th, only 5 off the playoffs. Not that we're counting.
No, I mean the first target is 50 points. We want to get to 50 points, ideally as soon as we can, and sort of reassess where we're going from there. After that, it's such a tough league, and the wins that we've had have all been by a narrow margin. You've seen that a bit of luck can turn games that you probably deserve to win. So just concentrate on each game, picking up points, and obviously see where that leaves us up. We'd like to be as high up as we possibly can. And
on Friday, we entertain Lincoln at Nethermore, and we're on the telly.
Yeah, first for everyone. We've lots of firsts this year. That first away win today, and that'll be nice to play in front of the cameras. I'm sure the lads will thrive on that on Friday night, and should be a good game. And we can go into the game with a lot of confidence, but also knowing that we've got to put that hard work in that we've put in over these, not just 7 games of the unbeaten run, but all season. I think the lads have been absolutely fantastic in the way they've worked. The work ethic and professionalism has been top draw, and we clung on. I thought we were quite comfortable in the end in dealing with what they had to throw at us when they were chasing the game. As a part-time team, having played a lot of games recently, I was really pleased with all aspects of it today.
A busy run of games coming up, as we say, starting on Friday, but then Tuesday for a couple of weeks from now. It's going to be a tough run on the legs.
It is.
Confident in the squad?
Yeah, I think you saw today, the lads coming off the bench helped, improve the team's performance, and that's important for us. Also got Gavin Roderick coming back. He's going to play in an under-21 game on Monday night, so that'll help him in his progress back to the squad, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we're not too far away from having Ollie Johnson back involved with us. He's progressed well from a couple of injections he's had in his problem hip area. So yeah, you know, we've got off to a really strong and solid start with, you know, perhaps our most influential and flair player at the top of the pitch. So it'd be brilliant if we can get the likes of Gavin and OJ back involved in the squad, because they'll be needed with all the fixtures coming up. But also, you know, they can make a difference to our side as well going forward.
And finally, looking ahead to Friday, what would you say to those that maybe have thought about coming down to Nethermore but haven't done so, and with them being on the telly, are more tempted to stay at home and watch it there?
Yeah, definitely come down. You know, we've had, obviously we're not the biggest club at this level, but there's a tremendous atmosphere at home games, especially night time under the lights. You get that bit of dew on the grass, and it makes for a fast-paced game. Big club like Lincoln coming, they're probably the biggest club we'll have played so far in the league this season. So hopefully they'll bring a few, it'll be a good atmosphere, and we'll try and go about our business as we have done over the course of the season with a, you know, fully committed and decent quality performance.
That's Mark Bauer. That's Mark Bauer there speaking after the 1-0 win away at Braintree on Saturday. We'll start with the team news. We have now got the team sheets. There is no delayed kickoff, so we are on course for 7:45. Steve Drench, Ryan Toulson, Danny Lowe, Adam Lockwood, the captain, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Will Hatfield, George Maris, Liam Dickinson and Rob Atkinson make up the Guiseley starting 11 on the bench. Adam Boys, Tom Craddock, Dan Atkinson, Nicky Boschel and Zach Thompson. For Lincoln, they'll have as follows: Paul Farman, Bradley Wood, Craig Stanley, Luke Waterfall, Chris Bush, Jack Muldoon, Alan Power, the captain, Matt Reed, Terry Hawkridge, Lee Beavers and Callum Howe. On the bench, Aidan Grant, Greg Tempest, Liam Hearn, Keegan Everington and Alex Simmons. So Dave, looking at the Guiseley lineup, it's pretty much as expected.
Yeah, well, we were just saying that they've put in some pretty good performances lately, and there's really no need to make any wholesale changes. It's a good, solid team. It's building up a rapport now, and it's worth, if it's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep, and that certainly seems to be the case. In terms of the men that need to have a good performance tonight in front of the BT cameras, who would you pick out for Guiseley?
Dickinson. Dickinson's on a heck of a run of form at the moment, and it's with George Maris will be looking to impress as well. I mean, he's you know, he's a young player. He's in a bit of a shop window for him here. He's on a loan spell from Barnsley. Will Hatfield as well has been on fantastic form as well of late, and Stephen Drench, I would say, as well. But I think more importantly than that, you know, it's not about individuals tonight. I would say for Guiseley, it's about a team performance, and it's about keeping that concentration from the very first minute to the last, which is what they did against Braintree, and play the game and don't get sucked in. Against Southport, the last time we were at Nethermore, they dropped back far too deep in the last 20 minutes and paid the price, whereas against Braintree, they learned from that. They went 1-0 up, and they sat on the game, and they pushed Braintree back, defended from the front, and that's what they need to do tonight. They need to keep that concentration and that kind of energy going.
Absolutely. Well, there's a good crowd turned out at Nethermore. The TV cameras haven't stopped people coming down. There's a good following as well, and that have made the trip from Lincoln to our left-hand side with the flags for the clubs as well. We're expecting a great game. And the two sides are making their way out now here at Nethermore Park, which seems like the perfect time to hand over to our commentary team of Dave Robertson, Dave Kendra, and first, Colin Robertson.
While Colin just gets into position, I'll just describe the scene here. It's a sort of misty night. It's getting a little bit cold. You can tell by the end of the evening we're all going to be shivering a little bit. The teams are coming out towards the centre circle now. They're followed by a myriad of cameras and photographers. It's a sort of an occasion of a match. What I would say is, Guiseley, don't get caught up in the occasion of tonight. Don't get excited because Steve Bauer's watching from the BT Sport commentary box directly opposite. We're not in competition with him, not in competition at all, but there is a feel of an occasion about this match tonight. It's a 7:45, it's a Friday night kickoff. It can be a little bit disorientating, but Guiseley have a job here to do. There's a team, Lincoln are a good team, a good side. They've got one of the top scorers in the league, but this is by no means an unwinnable game. Welcome to the commentary box, Colin Robertson.
Thank you, Dave. I tell you what, this is the occasions, isn't it, that we were looking forward to when we got promoted last season, isn't it? TV cameras here, a fantastically filled Nethermore Park. Lincoln City, a team of great pedigree and tradition, facing the Lions for the first time here in the Vanarama National, and we are deeply excited about the next 90 minutes. If you can't watch it, if you can't be here, if you can't find your way to the small screen, well, hopefully we can keep you entertained with the commentary of this game this evening. I'm Colin Robertson, alongside me Dave Kendra, and we're going to bring you the full 90. We'll crawl it down the middle. We try to, don't we?
We try to.
We do our best.
I think we try to is probably the fair thing to do. We don't always succeed, but you can't fail to be excited. It's a match under the floodlights in front of a packed Nethermore. There's been a little bit of pre-match slight drama. We're going to have a slightly delayed kick-off, although not by much, I wouldn't have thought. Really, really exciting evening. And you're absolutely right. This is exactly the sort of occasion that we were looking forward to the minute the final whistle blew at Chorley. This is what we were aiming for 5 years. This is a match in front of the cameras on a Friday night. We're in the big time now, Cole.
Oh, you were big time. We can still bring it down with the level of commentary that we can offer you this evening. Don't you worry about that.
It's a bit Toy Town, isn't it?
Yeah. So tonight, let's go through those two teams. Guiseley, first of all, Stephen Drench in goal, Ryan Tilson, Danny Lowe, Adam Lockwood, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Will Hatfield, George Maris, Liam Dickinson and Rob Atkinson. The eagle-eyed amongst you will see that is a regular starting lineup for the Lions at the moment. Adam Boys, Tom Craddock, Dan Atkinson, Nicky Boschel and Zach Thompson make up the bench. A good strong bench for the Lions this evening. Lincoln City, they line up with Paul Farman in goal, Bradley Wood, Craig Stanley, Luke Waterfall, Chris Bush, Jack Muldoon, Alan Power, Matt Reid, Terry Hawkridge, Lee Beavers and Callum Howe. On the bench, Aidan Grant, Greg Tempest, Liam Hearn, Kagan Everington and Alex Simmons. I think, first of all, with that team lineup, it's an awful relief to see Liam Hearn on the bench, I have to say, from a Guiseley perspective. Obviously, though, he's caused us some trouble in the past and is a real threat. The referee today, Rob Jones, assisted by Paul Brown and David Underwood, have just gone through the pre-match preparations, the coin toss. Guiseley playing in white shirts, navy blue shorts, navy blue socks, shooting from right to left as we watch from the main stand here. And Lincoln City in their away kit of yellow shirts, light blue shorts and yellow socks. And we're away. Guiseley have the ball in the Lincoln half early doors. Danny Boschel to Liam Dickinson, about 25 yards from goal. And it's to the left to Danny Lowe, who chips the ball forward. Chested down by Maris. The low knee gets the ball getting back on the edge of the 18-yard box, but can't control after Liam Dickinson's return ball is cleared. And it's gone back here to Danny Lowe in the halfway line. And a good, bright start from the Lions in the opening minute or so in this game. The ball sent long from Atkinson and cleared up towards Matt Reid. Adam Lockwood heads out and Guiseley concede a throw.
You wonder if Mark Bauer's not sent Guiseley out to push Lincoln early on. They've had a quite disturbed start to the evening here, having had a truncated warm-up. Maybe trying to catch Lincoln a little bit cold at the start of this game.
The throw comes on the right-hand side here from Lee Beavers. Into the box and then all the way through to Stephen Drench in the Guiseley goal, who controls, takes his time on the ball. And the two sets of players get the first sort of breather. And that's early opening foray. The ball up towards Liam Dickinson. Looks like he's bundled over by Waterfall, but the referee not interested. And then there's a heavy challenge in on Hatfield. And the free kick has been given, much to the dismay of the Lincoln City players, for Bradley Wood's late challenge. Just clipped him. And in the end, Hatfield goes down and Guiseley get the free kick about 30 yards from goal.
It's no surprise, really, to see Liam Dickinson closely marked. We've seen this in the last 3 or 4 games. That what they're doing is they're putting a man on him, just trying to nullify the threat from him.
Brooksby will take this free kick. There's about 5 or 6 Guiseley players on the edge of the 18-yard box. The Lincoln City defence is lining up alongside them. Brooksby about 35 yards from goal, to the left of the D. Will curl this one in towards a penalty spot. It's flicked in. Dickinson with a header just over the bar. And it's a goal kick, and the fans in the stand here in front of me thought that had looped under the net and into the net. And in fact, it just went over the bar and then down behind the hoardings, behind the net. It was a super header there from Liam Dickinson. And it looked like first blood to Guiseley. It's in fact a goal kick.
Well, I think we all thought that was a goal. We all wanted it to be a goal, but it landed just over the bar and onto the back. It was one of those ones, if you watch it at the right angle, it does look like it's nestled in the bottom of the net. But just a trick of the eye, unfortunately. It would have been a perfect start for Guiseley.
3 minutes gone. 0-0. Guys, have had the first best chance there. Good chance there with Liam Dickinson on the end of Wayne Brooksby's free kick, just heading the ball fraction over the bar. Now Stephen Drench comes out because Guys have a free kick and offside against Matt Reid, and the chance to play the ball long. There are about 5 players for Drench to aim for, about 20 yards from goal. He plays this one up towards Dickinson on the edge of the area. Dickinson just misses the header on that occasion. He made a great run and a leap for it, and it was a good delivery from Steve Drench, but just not quite enough to unlock the Lincoln defence, and it's behind for a goal kick.
It was exactly the sort of delivery that it needed at that point. It was at not too high, it was delivered at pace. Dickinson really stretched for it, but it just flicked off the top of his head. It's his birthday weekend, you know, Liam Dickinson.
Of course. We heard that via Twitter, of course.
Thanks, Bev.
Can we have the cake now? Still 0-0. Guisey win the ball back from the clearance from Lincoln and get it into the Lincoln half, but it's a slightly wayward pass from Jake Lawler, and it's recovered well, and Jack Muldoon runs down the left-hand side until he's stopped unceremoniously by Ryan Tilson with a good firm challenge. The ball's out for a throw, and up steps Chris Bush to take this one on that left-hand side, dries the ball down, looks like he's going to launch this one into the box. Guys, they have to get players into position to receive this one on the edge of the 6-yard box. 3 yellow shirts in there, including Callum Howe and Matt Reid to aim for. It falls a little short and a little wayward. Nobody can get on the end of it. And then a shot comes in. A good spin and turn there from Alan Power, the captain for Lincoln City. He got a good firm shot away, but straight at Stephen Drench, who held the ball well.
Bit of a treacherous bounce across the face of the penalty area. It was in that fabled corridor of uncertainty, if I can start playing cliche bingo early. And Guiseley just a little bit hesitant to clear it at that point.
Ball is cleared up towards Liam Dickinson, who spins, but can't get past the Lincoln defender. And it's returned all the way into the Lions half and goes out for a Guiseley throw in right back position. Chance here for Lincoln actually to pen us in for a moment, which is a little bit disconcerting.
Well, it's what they'll want to do. They'll want to take some of the pace out of this game. It started at quite a lick, and they'll just want to get their foot on the ball, pen us back a little bit, and just take some of the sting out of it.
Ball's up in the air now. Matt Reid goes chasing, looking for Rob Atkinson. Rob Atkinson does well, watches the flight of the ball brilliantly. Chests it down and clears up to the halfway line, but Lincoln win the ball back. The second phase now sticking with the visitors a little bit more. But good work here from Brooksby until Lincoln again win the ball back and win a free kick. About level with the edge of the centre circle on the left-hand side as they attack the Guiseley goal just in front of the dugouts. And now a chance for Power to distribute this ball into the area. And Guiseley again will have to defend the long ball in. Looks like it's going to be Bush who will loft this one forward. 5 yellow shirts on the edge of the area now. The edge of the D. Guys, they have a line of defenders in amongst them. The cross comes in towards the back post, claimed by Stephen Drench. Luke Waterfall was behind, waiting to pounce on any slip. But Drench clears and quickly gets the ball down the left-hand side, trying to release George Maris away on the left, but the ball just takes up a bit of pace off the turf and goes out of play for a throw into Lincoln City in right-back position.
Yeah, it was a good ball in. Drench watched it all the way. He had to make sure he got that one right because Waterfall was sort of looming behind him, ready to pounce on any kind of mistake.
So 7 minutes gone. Guiseley 0, Lincoln City 0. On Guiseley AFC Radio, live and but definitely not exclusive tonight. The clearance goes all the way back to Stephen Drench.
We've been called many things, Cole, but I don't think we've ever been described as exclusive.
Well, we've been described as special.
Barely live sometimes.
Stephen Drench sends the ball forward, up towards Liam Dickinson, just beyond him. And out, and it's a goal kick for Lincoln City. Don't forget, if you want to tweet us, we do enjoy a tweet at Guiseley Radio. Thanks, Evergreen Shadow, who's said he's the only one listening, but keep up the good work, guys.
I love the hashtag. Hashtag BT Sport is rubbish GAFC radio rules. It's catchy.
Yeah, I like it. Not sure how many others would agree, but hey, you know. We'll certainly appreciate your tweets and your follows. We've had some great messages today so far. But here we go. We're away again. Goal kick is taken. Lincoln City win the ball in midfield there. Good header from Bradley Wood on the halfway line now. A stumble from Terry Hawkridge. Guiseley almost capitalised. It goes back to the goalkeeper though. And Farman lofts the ball clear until Ryan Toulson gets his foot underneath it and gets it up to the halfway line. Bush sends it back again. Paul Farman can repeat the exercise and instead opts to go short on this occasion. The ball inside the Lincoln half. 5 or 6 players ahead to aim for. Looking to get on the end of a long ball on the end of the delivery. Now is Terry Hawkridge down the left-hand side, curls the ball into the box, headed away well by Danny Lowe. Again, Lincoln pick up that second phase here. Now with Craig Stanley. Out to the right-hand side where Beavers picks it up, skips past Maris. Can't keep the ball in play as he's doing so out there on the right flank, and Guiseley get a throw-in.
Just going back to that Hawkridge incident in midfield, he sort of lost his footing, and it's happened to a couple of players today. I think as it gets a bit cooler, there's going to be a bit more moisture on that pitch. We might see a few more players just lose their footing just a little bit as the moisture starts to gather on the pitch.
It's been so great. The weather has been so warm. And then as the evenings turn so cool, that has been a lot of dew and...
yeah, just while we're talking there,
evaporation.
Muldoon does exactly the same thing, trying to hold off the man, but just loses his footing and concedes the throw.
And Mark Bauer spoke about that midweek as well, saying, it's a great place to be to watch football. And there's a bit of slick on the surface here at Nethermore under the lights. Guys at the moment just holding on to the ball inside their own half. They're not making any headway. Feels like Lincoln are pressing well early doors. Goes up towards Dickinson. And then Maris battles hard to try to win the ball back. He does so actually on the halfway line and then is unceremoniously stopped by Craig Stanley.
They don't lose concentration.
So, Guiseley still 0-0 here. Into the
Filled with 50s computers with sound effects going. I'm fair, they just bring for effect.
I know you expected it to open up and a rocket would come out, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I think one of them's the back bit of Optimus Prime. It's got the little ratchet thing in the back. It is quite extraordinary, the level of coverage that BT Sport provide. It's great, but it's quite overwhelming.
15 minutes gone, 0-0. The goal kick has been taken and now Lincoln have the ball. Waterfall sends it forward, looking to get Reed into the game, but it's headed away by Lockwood, and then there's a free kick for a challenge by Craig Stanley against Jake Lawler, and referee Rob Jones wants to have a wee word with Stanley, and a free kick to Guiseley it is.
I think it's quite a sensible referee, and it's been a bit of a bustle about the game, hasn't it? There's been a lot of sort of shoulder barging. It's all been above board so far, and the referee's rather let it flow quite well, I thought. It's a good 15 minutes. I'll criticise him later.
Yeah, you will. Free kick to Stephen Drench. Plays the ball up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Liam Dickinson muscling away, trying to win the ball up against Luke Waterfall. He does, but he can't keep the ball in play. And it's out for a Lincoln throw.
You know what, guys? They just need to watch. Another thing they need to watch is just too much reliance on that long ball to Liam Dickinson. It's not really come off for him yet. He's given possession away more than he's retained it so far. Guys, they just need to be aware that they've got 2 very quick wingers in Brooksby and Maris, and use them a bit more.
Power now gets on the ball from the left-hand side, gets the ball into the area, takes a shot, it deflects, and then it's put into the back of the net by Matt Reed. Stephen Drench made the first save, but Matt Reed was on hand He gets the opening goal in Guiseley's first ever live televised game. And it's now Guiseley 0, Lincoln 1.
Yeah, they just got a bit too much space down the left-hand side there, managed to get a shot away. Drench did well to get a palm to it, but could only parry it into the path of Reed, who had quite a simple task to side-foot it in. It's a shame. We've not really had much in the way of got the first real threat that Lincoln have posed today, and they've scored from it. It's a bit disappointing. It was what I was saying just a little bit about concentration at the back and just keeping an eye on those strikers. They are quick, they can burst through, and that's what's happened here. Guiseley have to keep the shape, they have to keep concentrating and just try and mix it up a bit more. This is what I was saying. Try and use Maris, try and use Brooksby a bit more, because we're getting a bit of joy on those wings and a bit less joy from Liam Dickinson at the minute.
We kick off and Danny Boschel sends it forward and immediately it comes back. There's a free kick given. Two guys, I'm not quite sure what that was for because Danny Boschel just seemed to play the ball into open space, and as I followed the ball, it wasn't quite apparent what happened.
I think there was a coming together.
But guys, you have a free kick just inside their own half. On the right-hand side, 4 players go forward. Jake Lawler, Liam Dickinson. It's going to go long. It's sent upfield by Ryan Toulson up towards Liam Dickinson. He gets the flick into the area. There's a chance for Wayne Brooksby to get onto the end of it. He just doesn't connect with the ball. And it's through to the goalkeeper, Paul Farman.
Yeah, half chance there. Half chance from Liam Dickinson again, but every time that ball comes up to him, he's got a yellow shirt almost attached to his back like a tortoise's shell. It's very difficult. He's finding it very difficult to find any space this evening.
Well, Jake Lawler's header inside his own half gives possession straight back to the visitors. Lincoln get the ball in with Lee Beavers floating it into the area, and he's up between Matt Reed and Stephen Drench. This time the referee gives Drench a benefit of the doubt and the free kick is given to the Guiseley goalkeeper. But again, a simple ball into the box, and I was asking a few questions. That's what Matt Reed offers, doesn't he? He just offers that target, just like Liam Dickinson at the other end does for ourselves, for Guiseley. Guiseley win the ball back, though, from Dickinson from the header from Drench's clearance. The Lions don't make any headway, and it's back now with Ryan Toulson, who has to go back all the way to Stephen Drench. Dickinson just feels his ankle. He landed awkwardly in the aerial challenge. He's just putting his boot back on, I think. At the moment, it's just out of the game, and Danny Boschel just plays the ball straight into the path of Alan Power. Power on the right-hand side can get the ball into the area, and in the end, his cross isn't good enough. Jake Lawler picks it up, Hatfield collects, and gives it to Danny Lowe. But Guiseley get away with that one. Now Stephen Drench, Liam Dickinson rather, can't win the ball, but Hatfield can on the halfway line. Plays it to the right-hand side. Wayne Brooksby runs forward with the ball. Up against Terry Hawkridge. Goes back now to Jake Lawler. Lawler level with the centre circle. Exchanges passes, plays it down the right flank to Maris. Now into the feet of Brooksby. Brooksby to Maris. Maris looks in field, gives it to Lawler. Lawler back out to the right-hand side where Toulson crosses up towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Dickinson goes down. Referee not entertaining any notion of a penalty kick. The ball is cleared. In fact, there wasn't even a claim. So maybe Dickinson slipped at the crucial moment. Guiseley now have the ball back with Stephen Drench in his own half. And Adam Lockwood and Jake Lawler will begin another attack with the Lions trailing by a goal to 0. 20 minutes gone.
Yeah, there was never any shout for a penalty there. I think it was good defending by Lincoln.
Hatfield now on the ball, plays it to the right-hand side. Toulson square, into the feet of Brooksby. Brooksby lays it back here to Lawler. Lawler into Boschel, Danny Boschel. What sort of a pass can he pick out? Plays it in field to Hatfield. Hatfield and Maris combine. Maris with a shot, well saved by the goalkeeper. Good chance for Guiseley, only as far as Wayne Brooksby, who shoots, takes a deflection, up in the air, awkward for Farman to get. Farman punches it off the line, only as far as Jake Lawler in the end. The challenge by Maris on the goalkeeper, which was absolutely nothing, is penalised. And there's a free kick in the 6-yard box.
Well,
and that's frustrating, isn't it?
That is
the ball
frustrating.
fell to Jake Lawler, 20 yards from goal, and Guiseley had a chance. And the goalkeeper thanks the referee, Rob Jones. Oh, that's a frustrating moment there from our perspective.
And well, he might, because there really wasn't any connection there at all. It wasn't like the one we saw before where Stephen Drench got clattered into. It was really a striker trying to go across the goalkeeper to try and put him off. There was no connection there at all. But that's a bit more positive from Guiseley. Some good passing move on the edge of the penalty area, creating the chance. It's still a very tight game. Lincoln have the advantage now, but still, we're still in this game.
Hawkridge now on the left-hand side for the visitors. He comes infield towards the edge of the 18-yard box, attempts the cross. It's blocked. It's a corner for Lincoln from the left-hand side. Guiseley now getting their bodies in shape inside the 18-yard box. Lincoln will bring the big men forward. The towering frames of Callum Howe, Luke Waterfall will make their way into the penalty area. Meanwhile, the ball is recovered on that left-hand side. Lincoln taking their time with this corner.
A little early for time wastings.
Eventually, there's a ball placed in the right position. Guiseley now have to try and defend this corner from the left-hand side. Floated in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed towards the goal by Howe. Headed away, picked up now by Stanley. Stanley sends it to the left-hand side, and again the ball will be whipped in towards the edge of the area. It's flicked on well by Power, but beyond Reed inside the penalty area, and it's out for a goal kick to Guiseley. But that was a bit of a hairy moment again for the Lions.
Again, it's a ball played in at pace. It's flicked on. It bounces at an awkward angle. You don't know. Stephen Drench, he'll tell you that he could see that all the way and he had no problems. But there was a little bit of nervousness there. Lincoln fans at the opposite end to our left are in fine voice. I see the 617 squadron out in force tonight.
Ball picked up now by Danny Lowe. He sends it up towards Dickinson. It's cleared up in the air. Chested down by Reed. And now Guiseley are going to have to defend here, because coming through the midfield there was Craig Stanley. It was enough of a defence. A tackle in on him, and the ball's played back to Stephen Drench. And it's cleared up to the halfway line, where the ball is won by Chris Bush. He plays it forward and out for a Guiseley throw at right back position. Guiseley 0, Lincoln City 1. Sorry, we can't bring you any better news than that at the moment, but the Lions have had a chance or two as well. Ian Dickinson just headed over, and a good save from Paul Farman came from a drive from George Maris.
I think the positive is both teams have had one really good chance each. It's just Lincoln scored theirs. There's really not much in this. Fine margins.
Dickinson wins the flick on, but it's recovered by Lincoln, but they concede possession almost immediately to Jake Lawler. Chipped forward, up towards Dickinson again. Taken down by Boschel into the feet of Brooksby, but then again in the middle of the park, Lincoln holding firm, making the clearance. Up in the air now by Bush, again headed on by Wayne Brooksby. Guys, he just can't get the headway. Danny Boschel chases after this one, but it'll go comfortably back to goalkeeper Paul Farman.
Big hello to John Megson, who's tweeted us at Guiseley Radio. Mum's night out, keeping some fans at home. Online radio saving me until broadcast interrupted. We're back on. We're back on.
We're here. Broadcast has been resumed.
Have the mums come here? Is this their night out?
That do you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Guiseley still, meanwhile, struggling to get out of their own half. In possession of the ball. Danny Boschel has just been bundled over by Jack Muldoon. Free kick will be taken on the edge of the centre circle inside the Lions half. And at the moment, we don't have the same zip as we had a few moments ago. The last sort of 3 or 4 minutes has been a story of Lincoln holding good shape, frustrating the Lions. And at the moment, it's just a poor spell from Guiseley's perspective. It might improve, though, now. They're trying to get down the right-hand side. They're stopped in the tracks again by Bush. Good ball, though. Flicked forward, and then there's a late challenge in here by Maris. Maris will be spoken to now by Rob Jones. I don't think there's going to be a card on this occasion. I think it's just going to be a case of, look, that's your last one, your next one.
It was Dickinson.
That was Dickinson, yeah, wasn't it? How did I confuse those two? Guiseley, meanwhile, trip to the opticians on Monday. He'll have to defend a free kick. It's a free kick on the halfway line, which will be taken. Down the left flank, finds Power, the captain, up against Danny Boschel. Can't get the ball through. It's played forward nonetheless, and it finds Craig Stanley, who turns and plays it out to Beavers on the right-hand side. Good tackle comes in from Maris. Maris chases the ball down that left-hand side. He's blocked by Craig Stanley, who apologises as the ball blasts into the crowd. Apologises very courteously to the crowd for doing so. And guys, he get the throw and take it back underway. Maris can't go forward, has to go back to Lockwood. And then the ball out here with Danny Lowe on the halfway line. Again, guys, they just have no time to spend on the ball. Maris this time taken down by a bit of a late challenge by Power. He's trying to win the ball back. I think he knew he just clipped Maris late, accepts a free kick. The referee just has a quick word with the Lincoln captain. Guys, he get the ball back underway. Danny Boschel plays the ball out to the right-hand side. Tilson's immediately closed down by Hawkridge, so has to go back to Atkinson. He chips it forward, headed away by Waterfall. Another throw into Guiseley just inside the Guiseley half.
You see the Lincoln fans have brought a flare.
That's just ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah. Ball down the right-hand side. It's blocked. And it's gone out anyway for a Lincoln throw. So, we've had 27 minutes gone. It's not great news from Nethermore. Guys, trailing by 1-0. The goal coming from Matt Reed on 17 minutes. A good strike from Power had been well saved by Stephen Drench. His parry fell in the path of Reed, who drilled the ball into the back of the net. Guys, they've had a couple of chances themselves. Dickinson has headed just over the bar. We thought it had gone in the stand here. And also Paul Farman produced a good save from a George Maris strike. Fairly even Stephen. But Lincoln City on the attack for a moment here. Brooksby clears, takes a deflection out for a Guiseley throw.
And that's what we've got to. That's what we've got to hold on to. You know, if we do go in, if we do go in at half-time 1-0 down, and there's no guarantee that we won't equalise. But there are positives to be had from this performance. It's not a poor Guiseley performance. We've played a lot worse than this, and been 2-0 down at this point. So, hang on, what do I mean?
The ball's out to the right-hand side anyway. Lincoln, I'll interrupt you, Dave. Lincoln have the ball with Jack Muldoon on the right flank, but he's been forced to the corner flag by Danny Lowe. Muldoon still finds the ball in, finds it in towards Stanley. Craig Stanley spins, takes it into the penalty area, but it's well intercepted there by Hatfield and out for, hoofed away for a Lincoln throw about level with the penalty area on the right flank.
I think my point was there's hope. There's always hope.
Throw in for the visitors that Bradley Wood will take on this right-hand side. About level with the 18-yard box. It looks like this one's going to go long. So 2-3 players on the edge of the 6-yard box. Silm goes in towards Hawkridge, but he slips at the key moment. Guys, he get the ball away here. Boschel. And in the end takes a deflection off Jack Muldoon, and it's out for a Guiseley throw in right back position. And it's laid back here to Lockwood. Picked up here by Lawler. Jake Lawler plays it square here to Rob Atkinson. Danny Boschel. Rob Atkinson now. Moves forward. Lofts one long up towards Liam Dickinson. He's taken a shoulder charge and gone down. Referee's not given the free kick. Closed down by Maris, the goalkeeper. He makes a good clearance though, Farman. Guys, he pick up the second phase. Better from the Lions here. Hatfield tries to turn and thread the ball through towards Brooksby. This time it's intercepted and the ball is cleared. Lockwood intercepts the clearance, gives it to Lowe. Lowe down the left-hand side, plays it forward. Dickinson chasing up against the defence, and it's lofted away this time by Hallam and into the stand here right in front of us, as you can hear.
When Dicko went down for that free kick, the referee just ran past him and just indicated to him, that's 2. And what does that mean?
Yeah. He's just not interested, is he, in Dicko going down to the ground at the moment. Ball long by Lockwood, up towards Dickinson. Flick on from Dickinson, tries to play it in towards Lowe. It's out, and it's going to be a throw-in right-back position for Lincoln. Still Guiseley trail by 1-0. if you're just joining us here on Guiseley AFC Radio. The goal from Matt Reed on 17 minutes with half an hour gone is certainly giving Guiseley the headaches at the moment, but Danny Boschel picks the ball up. He plays it to the right-hand side. Wayne Brooksby plays on. Guiseley had Danny Boschel brought down, but the referee plays the advantage. The ball's played in there by Maris. As far as Jake Lawler, he drives one in from the edge of the area, but it's over the bar. Decent volley from Jake Lawler. But in the build-up to that play, Danny Boschel was brought down. Referee played a good advantage. Wayne Brooksby picked the ball up, played it out to the left-hand side. Maris drilled it in. It was cleared. Jake Lawler picked up the seconds. His drive in towards goal, just over the crossbar.
There it is. There's that hope. There's that positives. That's what happens when we can keep possession and play it at pace and break through from the midfield. Sure, we got a little bit of a lucky bounce there when Danny Boschel won the ball in midfield, and he should have had a free kick. Or he would have had a free kick had Wayne Brooksby not played on. But Brooksby did well to get it out to the left. It was a good ball in. Jake Lawler has to hit that first time, and he does well to get it as low as he does. You've seen them sort of fly into the onto the railway lines in the past.
Farman takes the clearance. It's a good long one. It's flicked on and into the box and almost picked up there by Jack Muldoon, but Stephen Drench quickly out of his area, again marshalling that penalty area well. Clears the ball up towards Maris. Maris lets the ball bounce over him to allow Danny Boschel the chance to run onto it. In the end, Lincoln are alive to the danger, and then there's a pass back that goes towards Danny Lowe, and Danny Lowe just slipped at the crucial moment, recovers well and plays it back to Stephen Drench.
This is what we're talking about the moisture on the pitch. It's just gonna cause a few slips and trips tonight.
Ball up in the air, and there's a challenge between Atkinson and Reed. Reed feels he was pulled back by Rob Atkinson.
Matt Reed just came over to the Lincoln left hand side. I don't think I appreciated what a big fella he is. He's a unit.
A unit count. How long are we in before you've used the word big unit?
33 minutes. I think that's good for me. It's usually 33 seconds.
Ball still not going anywhere. It's still in the Guiseley half, and with Adam Lockwood at the moment, who steps up, he runs forward to the halfway line, plays it here to Hatfield. Maris on the halfway line still himself, plays it back infield. And it's a rather wayward ball, actually. It almost gives Hawkridge a chance to win possession back. And again, eventually, the Lions do concede that ball. And then they gifted it back rather kindly from the foot of Bush. Chris
No
Bush.
need to go for the spectacular crossfield passes tonight. We're not going to beat Lincoln with spectacular crossfield passes, but short and sharp passing we're getting a bit of joy out of.
As you now actually have to do a bit of defending here because the Imps are forward. Jack Muldoon on the half line. He goes back to Beavers. And then back into the feet of Luke Waterfall. Headed away well by Adam Lockwood. And Liam Dickinson battling to try and win the ball from Bradley Wood. And there's a judge to have pushed Bradley Wood. And it's a free kick to Lincoln.
I think Bradley Wood felt the presence of Liam Dickinson behind him, and that was all it took.
Chance here again. You see, when you concede free kicks in midfield, so often they're effectively played as long cross ball or long passes in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. This one's likewise the same. Paul Farman will loft this one up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Good defensive work from Jake Lawler. Gets it away, but only as far as Wood, who nods on. He concedes possession to Maris, who plays it back in turn to Danny Lowe and clears up to the halfway line. Maris battling to win the ball. Is going to be penalised for the header actually on Beavers. And the referee, I have to say, I think on that one has got that one wrong.
Absolutely
Gives the free kick to Lincoln.
George Maris has his eye on the ball all the way there. Absolutely all the way. But again, you know, it's like the free kick Liam Dickinson conceded there. Lee Beavers, he's just sort of felt the presence of George Maris coming in behind him. He's gone down. The referee's bought it. It's a well-won free kick.
Bush on the halfway line will take this free kick, and now Guiseley, again, because it's a free kick in the middle of the park, it will be, again, something to defend. Bush will launch this one into the area. This time there's about 2 or 3 on the edge of the 18-yard box on the left-hand flank. This one goes in towards a penalty spot. It's a poor ball, actually, from Bush. Chris Bush won't be happy with that delivery, and it's easy for Stephen Drench to claim. The clearance up to the halfway line, picked up now by Danny Boschel. He plays the ball out to the left-hand side, but it's just beyond George Maris, who was running the opposite direction. As the ball's returned back into the Guiseley half. It's collected by Stephen Drench. Now Hatfield on the halfway line, picks the ball up and runs with it. Goes towards the left flank. He's got no options with him. And he's got 2 up against him. Plays a nice one into Maris and then flicked on from Jake Lawler. Lovely ball here to Hatfield on the left flank. Can he get the crossing? Goes into the penalty area. Takes on one. Plays it in here to Maris. Maris tries to feign the way past one. Is blocked by the second. It falls to Danny Boschel, who drills in. It takes a deflection. It goes behind for a corner. Good attacking work there from the Lions. And all led the line brilliantly there by Will Hatfield. And a great ball from Jake Lawler in amongst that, and a good drive from Danny Boschel.
What a ball from Jake Lawler out to Danny Lowe for that chance. Jake Lawler, he just takes it first time on the outside of his boot and just curls it out to the left-hand side for Lowe for Hatfield to get into the box there. Causes all sorts of trouble for Lincoln there. They were stretched.
Corner to Guiseley from the right-hand side, still trailing by a goal to nil. The ball goes into the area, headed up in the air by the 2 defenders, and then played back to the goalkeeper. As I think it was Hatfield who was attempting an overhead, or Maris rather, was attempting the scissor kick. But in the end, the ball comfortably with Paul Farman.
One for the cameras. But Lincoln.
How long did it take you to come up with that one?
But Lincoln was stretched there, and this is where we were positive because we upped the tempo.
Now at the other end, Lincoln makes some headway down the left flank. Once again, they can get the cross into the box. They go back. It's here with Hawkridge. Hawkridge on the edge of the 18-yard box. Drills one in towards the back post. Reid, what a save from Stephen Drench. What a save from Stephen Drench as Reid headed it across the face of goal. Stephen Drench was there, made sure he got a firm arm out. And now Guiseley, almost undone for a second time in this game, can come away with the ball and bring it up to the halfway line.
Guiseley a bit stretched there. The ball across just completely deceived the defenders, and there was a header from the far post, and Stephen Drench is going one way, stretches out an arm like Mr. Fantastic, just elastic arm, just to get it away. That's why he's England's number 1.
Now Brooksby surging forward, plays the ball out to the left-hand side, finds Maris. Maris on the edge of the penalty area, turns in field, takes a shot, blocked by the many yellow shirts in that penalty area. Picked up now by Jake Lawler. Lawler into the feet of Hatfield. Maris again. Plays it back here to Danny Boschel. Boschel on the edge of the centre circle. And Maris still inside this Lincoln half. Guiseley knocking on the door now with 7 minutes to go towards the break. Still trailing by a goal to nil, but the Lions aren't going forward. They're playing it back. They're keeping hold of the ball, but Lincoln showing good shape, holding good position. Guiseley frustrated, go all the way back to Stephen Drench. Picked up by Adam Lockwood inside his own half. Still Lincoln are inside their own half. The ball up towards Dickinson. Waterfall clears. And Matt Reid chases down Stephen Drench, who's out of his area, and Adam Lockwood is pressurised into playing the ball, and he does well so. Now Maris charging down this left-hand side. He's been a real addition to Guiseley since he came on loan. Plays the ball to the right. Lawler out to the right flank where Ryan Toulson cuts in field and gives it back to Hatfield. And then there's a blocking challenge on Hatfield. It's out for a Guiseley throw, taken quickly. Back to the halfway line. Picked up by Danny Boschel. Boschel threads it towards Lawler. Lawler looking to pick out the pass, does so. Good one to Hatfield. Hatfield down the right flank. Wayne Brooksby, can he get the cross? Spins on the ball, cuts in field. Can he get the cross into the area? No, it goes back here to Jake Lawler on the edge of the 18-yard box. Into Toulson. Toulson crosses in towards Dickinson. Dickinson headers, held by Farman. Dickinson was looking for the ball as it was going away from goal for him. He had to head backwards towards a goal, in effect, and it wasn't a powerful header. He was able to get onto it, and it was comfortable for the Lincoln goalkeeper in the end.
Yeah, fairly well defended there from Lincoln, just to push it out, just to delay the cross, just in time for them to get enough yellow shirts into the box.
Now the ball picked up at the other end by Lincoln, who play it into the box from Jack Muldoon, but he plays it simply to a Guiseley defender, and it's cleared up towards Liam Dickinson on the edge of the centre circle. Dickinson sends it down to the left-hand side, and there's a thundering challenge comes in from Danny Boschel, trying to win the ball just ahead of Chris Bush. Boschel stretches. Referee will have a word with him, surely. There's no more than that. Boschel went to ground early. It wasn't high, and he just clipped Chris Bush, and it's a free kick to Lincoln and no more.
He was most definitely stretching for the ball, but he was doing so at great speed with Chris Bush coming towards him, so it's one of those ones that looks a bit worse than it actually is. There's not much contact, although Chris Bush is still on the ground, isn't he? He's taking his time, doing his laces.
He's in front of the cameras, isn't he? So he's just milking it. Has he got a mirror? Check his hair. I don't know. 5 minutes to go. Guiseley trailing by a goal to nil. Lincoln with a free kick inside their own half. Goes long again, up towards the edge of the area where Reid nods on. The ball on that right flank here with Muldoon, who gets the ball into the penalty spot area of the penalty area, but Danny Boschel is the man to intercept that one. Guys, don't do well at clearing their lines, though. And eventually, it relies on Danny Lowe to play the ball up the left flank. And he can't get the ball into the feet of Hatfield. And it's out for a throw-in to Lincoln.
Guys, they've just got to watch these loose balls. There's been 2 or 3 in very dangerous positions tonight. Keep doing that. Lincoln will punish us.
So, 1-0 to Lincoln City. Matt Reed with the goal on 17 minutes. Guiseley have had the chances as well. But it's been a bright, open game. Decent fare for the cameras. And Lincoln are now attacking again with Matt Reed just up the corner flag on the right-hand side. Struggling to keep the ball in play. In the end, he can't, and it's behind for a Guiseley goal kick. If you're just joining us, thank you for your tweets this evening at Guiseley Radio. If you want to give us any grief, comment. Well, hopefully you're picking us up again. We've got about 20 minutes to go. And we're afraid we had a technical gremlin of we couldn't quite work out. Perhaps we've been sabotaged by the other media outlets for this evening, and they've decided we're doing too good a job, and I don't think that's very likely.
Steve Bow doesn't have this problem.
Yeah. We're 1-0 down still. You've not missed too much. There's been a change. Change of personnel for both sides. Liam Hearn is now on for Lincoln City. And also, we've got Tom Craddock on in place of Liam Dickinson. It's still 1-0 though, and that's the all-important scoreline that's not changed since we dropped off there though. And at the moment, it's a free kick to Lincoln City. They've got another change, I think, in the offing.
It has been it's a shame we were down, because it's been quite a breathless 15, 20 minutes. Real end-to-end stuff. Guiseley really pushing. Guiseley have got a lot more joy when the tempo's been quite high today. And Lincoln haven't been able to break us down as yet.
Hawkridge now on the ball for Lincoln City. Plays it towards the feet of Liam Hearn rather. He plays it back to Hawkridge. Hawkridge crosses the ball in. It goes over Stephen Drench. It has to be put behind by Danny Lowe. It's going to be a Lincoln City corner. And Guiseley now with some real defensive duties to undertake as Lincoln City begin to press and go in search of that second goal. You feel would put this game to bed from their perspective. That'll be what they'll be hoping for with just 15, 17 minutes to go.
It's probably worth pointing out that while we were battling our technological gremlins, Liam Hearn is now on for Lincoln City. So he's another attacking threat. He's something else for Rob Atkinson and Adam Lockwood to deal with.
Corner's going to come in from this right-hand side for Lincoln. Floated in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Headed in towards the goal there by Bradley Wood. Couldn't get the power, and in the end it's comfortably dealt with by Stephen Drench, who runs to the edge of the penalty area, launches one down the right channel that Hatfield gamefully runs for, but he can't get on the end of it. And we're out for a throw-in. You know, it would be great if you are tuning in, just to give us a tweet at Guiseley Radio. Sorry we went off air. We've had a complete freeze down here, which is very unusual for us.
I mean, the temperature has dropped, but not that much.
But yeah, we'd really appreciate any information you've got to share with us if we're back on air. Rob Atkinson, meanwhile, is being tugged at by Hearn. There's a claim for a free kick, but the referee's not interested. Atkinson does well, plays the ball back to Drench, and Drench clears. Guys, win it on the halfway line, but Hatfield is closed down. And eventually it's helped away. Now there's a chance for Jack Muldoon to cross. He plays the ball behind Hawkridge, a rather poor pass from Muldoon, and Hawkridge has to chase backwards. Plays it to Bush, and Bush again with a rather wayward pass into the penalty area. And Guiseley have the ball with Stephen Drench. Roll it out to Adam Lockwood. And Atkinson has it at the back. Danny Boschel now steps over the halfway line. 15 minutes to go. Into the feet of Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby down this right channel, goes past Bush, cuts in towards field, but he had 3 players or 4 players to beat there. And in the end, it was Callum Howe who just took the ball away from him, plays it forward to Hearn. Hearn, who during his Alfreton days was scoring all sorts of goals against Guiseley. The ball now with Power. And the Lions now again in their defensive duties, but this time a poor ball from Power, gives it straight to Maris. Maris cuts in field, gives it towards Jake Lawler. Lawler threads the ball well through to Brooksby. On the right-hand side, he's got Tilson on the overlap. Brooksby dwells on the ball too long. Hawkridge intercepts, groans and not being anything.
Ball there, they gave the ball away far too easy. Wayne Brooksby on the edge of the Lincoln penalty area, just waiting for the killer ball. He just hovers too much and gives the ball away, and then it's just a failure to deal with Lincoln coming forward, and suddenly we've got a corner to defend.
Guys, to defend the corner from this right-hand side. We have 13 minutes left of this game. The Lions' first ever live TV game. Can they get something out of it? The corner comes in this time for Lincoln. Acrobatic overhead kick comes in from Bradley Wood, and it's behind the goal and into those Lincoln fans, and they aren't returning the ball, and so Guiseley will need to introduce a new ball, which they do, and there's going to be another change, and Terry Hawkridge will come off, and is that Alex Simmons who's coming on there, Dave?
Yeah, Alex Simmons on for Hawkridge. There, he's had a good game. Hawkridge, he's been quite industrious in that midfield area.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think he's been one of their better midfielders. And there's a change for the Lions as well. And Adam Boys will enter the fray. And Danny Boschel will make way. So a change of formation, I suspect there, Dave, obviously.
Now, does that suggest a 4-4-2? That putting 2 up front, one with Craddock and Boys. Now this is interesting because they started the season with Craddock and Boys up front. They weren't doing too badly, but they weren't quite getting the penetration, so giving it another go.
Well,
it's good because Dickinson was looking quite isolated up front. Craddock isn't the same sort of player as Dickinson, so it gives Lincoln something else to think about now, and we have had more joy going forward when we've passed the ball about, and now if we've got more players up there to knock it about between them, something might come.
Header away from Atkinson, nodded on by Wood, and Lincoln still have the ball inside the Guiseley half. Guiseley entrenched in their own half just for the moment. The ball over the top, Liam Hearn down the right hand side, drills the wall from an acute angle, well saved from Stephen Drench. But on the far side now, it's picked up again, this time by the substitute Simmons, who cuts in field, takes a drive, this time blocked by Hatfield. Bush now picks the ball up on the left-hand side. He tries to go past Brooksby. Brooksby sticks well to his task, wins the ball back off the Lincoln City defender, and then is challenged and wins a throw-in for Guiseley in their right-back position.
Brooksby does really well there to stick with Chris Bush and win the ball back off him. Bush has got about a foot on Wayne Brooksby, so he's done very well to out-muscle him down in that corner.
Cheers to all of you who tweeted about the problems we were having. I think we've had a slight internet issue, which is why we didn't pick you up, but we are back on air, and a tweet would be really helpful just to sell it. That's all coming through clear. Lincoln City pressing again, playing the ball over the top, defended well again, but comes straight back at Guiseley. This time Wood down the right-hand side. He's up against Danny Lowe. Wood goes down towards the corner flag. Lowe gets a good touch in on it, but it's at the expense of a throw. And you suspect that there'll be another long throw here. And quite a change, I wonder, for Guiseley. It seems to be, is that Nicky Boschel warming up down there?
It does look significantly like Nicky Boschel putting a shirt on.
I wonder whether Wayne Brooksby might make way. The throw now to come from the right flank. About level with the penalty area. To the box, headed in the air by defending here. They could do more with getting the ball up.
Free kick given away.
Yeah, there's a free kick just given
Looks
away on the
like
edge of the
Brooksby
18.
just a little bit late, and the referee's going in his pocket.
And that's the first
It's a
booking
yellow.
of the evening as well, isn't it?
That is. He's had to have one too many conversations, and suddenly Wayne Brooksby there. I mean, it was a challenge at speed. There was no malice in it, but it was mistimed. And Lincoln with a free kick now in a very dangerous position.
Yeah, just a yard up from the angle of the penalty area on the left-hand side. A chance here, Liam Hearn, Bush and Power all standing over it for them either to whip this one in, possibly even drill this one towards the goal. Stephen Dredge doesn't have a man on his line. Liam Hearn is, don't know how I'm mixing those two up. Matt Reid is standing in front of the Guiseley goalkeeper. Three-man wall. I think it will be Hearn, and I suspect he's going to drive this towards a goal. Hearn is looking alongside Chris Bush to be one of those two, the likely contenders. 3 or 4 on the edge of the penalty spot now. Hearn will drill this one in low towards the goal, and it's held by Stephen Dredge. Didn't really connect with that anything like as cleanly as he'll have been hoping for. Stephen Dredge launches it clear, looking to get Tom Craddock free, but there's no hope of that either. And in the end, the ball goes all the way back here to Stephen Dredge in the Guiseley goal. We've got just about, what, 7 minutes to go. Can Guiseley do something? Nicky Boschel waiting to be introduced over on the far side to the fray.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Guiseley are looking to nick one in the last 10 minutes here, they've got all the tools on the pitch to do it. The boys, Craddock, and if they bring on Nicky Boschel as well, there's players there who, if they get half a chance, they could get us back in this.
Nicky Boschel's been very patient, waiting for his chance. The referee eventually holds play up, and he will come on, and he'll come on in place of George Maris, who's had an excellent evening for Guiseley, George Maris, and certainly in the early spell of that second half, I think George Maris was one of the real bright spots of Guiseley's performance this evening. Perhaps just run out of legs later on and need someone fresher to run at this defence.
Certainly that first 20-25 minutes of the second half, he was absolutely everywhere. He looked like playing like a man possessed. Had a fantastic opportunity cutting in from the left where he hit the bar.
Now Nicky Boschel on the ball for Guiseley inside the Lincoln half. Lays it back here to Hatfield. You know, we've got to remember we went unbeaten throughout September, 5 draws and 2 victories. Guiseley have had a good record in this division so far. Tilson infield to Brooksby. Brooksby spins on the ball, looks ahead of him, cuts past one, goes backwards. Again, can't really make the incisive pass. It's flicked in towards Craddock, who flicks it up, comfortably dealt with by Lincoln, and now they can counter-attack here with Hearn. Hearn on the halfway line, blocked well by Atkinson. It goes back here to Bush. Bush clears, intercepted by Ryan Tilson, who chips it forward into the head of Nicky Boschel, but Guiseley don't win the second phase. And Chris Bush will send one over the top towards Hearn, who's offside. Still 1-0 to Lincoln. Matt Reid with that goal on 17 minutes. Very tense.
There's certainly the goal threat there for Guiseley. The players are there, but they've got to get the service. They've got to get the service that they're looking for. So, I mean, you've got Brooksby, you've got Boschel now.
Stephen Drench now with a free kick inside his own half. He sends it long, it's into the area. It's not headed after the first one. Falls to Jake Lawler. He finds somehow Craddock on the edge of the area. His drive is blocked. Picked up. Hatfield drives it towards goal. It goes over. And it's comfortably behind. And that pretty much sums things up, really, from Guiseley's perspective. Half chances after showing good possession or maybe a good ball into the box. But really, we've snapped at things, and really, we haven't tested Paul Farman anything like enough.
He's not had a save to make all game, I don't think. I can't recall him having a save
First
to
half,
make.
he saved from George Maris. After that, I don't think he's been tested.
Yeah. And you've got Stephen Drench there, who's made 2 or 3 brilliant saves today.
Clearance from Farman. Up in the air. Reid and Lockwood doing battle. Reid wins the header, flicked on towards Hearn. Held by Stephen Drench. Drench claims it. And looks ahead of him. He lofts a good one forward again, up towards Craddock. This time again, Lincoln just more than the measure of the Guiseley front line. Throw the ball back to the goalkeeper, Farman. Headed up in the air, and again, there's two players. Surely one of them must be offside. No, linesman keeps his flag down, but good work from Toulson. Jake Lawler gets the ball, and Guiseley bring it up to the halfway line. Toulson and Lawler exchange passes, and then Hatfield has to stretch to try and keep it in play, which he does, but he can't keep possession in doing so. And now Lincoln City move down the right, and they get the ball forward towards Jack Muldoon, but he's beaten to it on this occasion. And Danny Lowe can complete the clearance for Guiseley. It was good work from Nicky Boschel, in fact, and now Guiseley keep the ball moving. Here with Hatfield over the centre circle now, out to the right-hand side. Wayne Brooksby picks the ball up and cuts in field. He needs to do something special with this. He's tackled well, an excellent tackle at that time from Bradley Wood. And then another equally excellent tackle from Hatfield stops Chris Bush in his path. But again, when Wayne Brooksby gets on the ball, he just doesn't get the space or the time that he's been getting last season. He's closed down.
He's just not getting the penetration that he was getting last season. He's getting caught on the ball a bit too much for my liking. He's getting, his first touch isn't quite as composed as it was. Guiseley are trying to do the right things. They're trying to move the ball about, trying to break quickly. But Lincoln are looking just a little more composed, a little more confident on the ball as this game goes on.
Now Jake Lawler takes the ball down and gives it to Danny Lowe. Lowe drills it up towards Tom Craddock on the centre circle. Intercepted by Waterfall, who clears, but it doesn't go very far. It's just up in the air, and Liam Hearn intercepts in the end and wins the ball back. Jake Lawler and Hatfield try to win the ball back off Hearn and somehow concede a free kick. So Guiseley will have some defending to do now with just 2 minutes of normal time left to go. It's a frustrating end to the evening for the Lions.
I think frustrating is going to be the word of the, if we do a one-word review of this match, frustrating is it. It's not been a bad Guiseley performance, not by any means.
The ball up in the air towards the edge of the 18-yard box and cleared. And in the end, Matt Reid is in trouble for a challenge he's tried to make on Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby's incensed. Reid gets a yellow card, but there was a real...
Now, why on earth has he brought that back when Brooksby's clear and he's taken it past two defenders? Now, can he not play advantage at that point? Let that passage of play come to an end and bring Matt Reid back after that. That's completely killed the momentum of that move forward now for Guiseley. It's a punishment for Guiseley more than it is for Lincoln.
Yeah, well, that's the frustration. I think that's why Wayne Brooksby is just so furious about that. Reid didn't even make connection in the end. And now here we are, way back in our own half. And Guiseley will now have to take the free kick and hope that Stephen Drench can pick out something creative from this front line. It's easily defended and cleared up towards Liam Hearn, who wins the ball on the right-hand side. And now Guiseley are in all sorts of trouble here. Hearn plays it in here to Muldoon. Muldoon takes a shot straight at Stephen Drench. And there's a man down. Is it Danny Lowe on that far side? He went down just as Hearn won the ball, but he's up on his feet now. We've got 20 seconds of normal time, so we'll be waiting to find out what the added time is. And the fourth official on that far side, Scott Oldham. You can see the glow of the board, but you can't see the time yet. As Guiseley play it forward rather aimlessly. And it's gone behind for a goal kick. And it's just whatever the time now the referee will add. 4 minutes of added time. I don't know about you, Dave. I feel this game's gone, really. I don't see us creating a chance.
It's difficult to see a way back into it. But, if you have to try and keep that pace up even for these last 4 minutes. Why not? What's to lose at this point? Why not go for it?
We're just not getting the ball to the front men, to be honest. I can't see us getting that chance. If anything, I think Lincoln could get the next goal if there's going to be one in the next 4.
I think Lincoln have...
Now they're coming down this right-hand side again. They find Hearn on the edge of the 18-yard box. He goes away from goal. Guiseley win the ball back, but they just can't keep it in play. And everything's just that little bit stretched and a little bit too much.
Lincoln have done exactly what they should do at this situation once they're 1-0 up as the game, closing the game out, defending from the front, pressing in on Guiseley. They've not given. You're right. They've not given Guiseley an inch. They've really kept their foot on us at all times. They've played. It's going to be a very satisfying away win if it does turn out to be that one.
The ball, meanwhile, has been just poked into the Guiseley penalty area. Reid is chasing after it, but well defended by Hatfield of all players. There's surely a free kick against a push on Adam Boys by Callum Howe, who complains, but Guiseley can have a chance. Well, one last chance here to get everyone forward. Stephen Drench is coming into the Lincoln half inside the centre circle and is ready to...
Why not ping this ball into the box?
He's got the chances, about 5 or 6 Guiseley players on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's lofted forward, up in there. Rob Atkinson just gets the head on it, and it knocks out into touch for a goal kick.
Had all the hallmarks of a last chance, that, didn't it?
Yeah, didn't it? Didn't it just? 2 minutes of the 4 gone, and there are people making their way out of the ground now, knowing that really this game is pretty much done and dusted. Lincoln look pretty much to have sewn up the points. It's 1-0, but just the passage of play in the last 20 minutes, Guiseley haven't created anything, and Lincoln have had the more incisive counter-attack movements. In fact, Liam Hearn might get something here on the right-hand side. He's got the option of Simmons in the box, but Hearn's going to take it down to the corner flag and have the professional use up the clock. And Guiseley need to get the ball back off him. Liam Hearn does concede the throw in the end. This time the Lions need to move it downfield. Jake Lawler under pressure, gives it to Atkinson, who ships the ball forward, but because he's hurried into doing so, can't find the man. Hatfield tries to win the ball back. Lincoln do win possession. Guiseley have lost all the shape, and here's a chance for Power now to come forward, plays the ball to the right-hand side, and it finds Hearn, who'll just steady things away again for Lincoln. Here to Power, and Power back here to Beavers, and it's a throw into Lincoln, and we've just about got the 4 minutes up, and I'm sure they'll be very pleased with it. It's very frustrating from our perspective, though, here.
There's positives in this performance, in patches, but the Lincoln player just tried to throw the ball in, and the ball's so wet it dropped down behind his head.
It's a foul throw as well.
It's a foul throw.
So guys, get the throw. Well, if something can come of it in the last 20 seconds, that would be a funny way to finish a game, wouldn't it? But Atkinson's got to get it out of his own half first. Up to the halfway line. Brooksby going backwards. Gives it to Lawler. Lawler needs to go long with this. He can't. He goes to give it straight to Hearn. That's strange. He just dwelt on the ball until allowed Hearn to close him down. Didn't have the angles ahead of him to choose from. It's a free kick given, though. This time, this is a good opportunity for Guiseley. Last chance saloon here for the Lions. Everyone going forward.
Go on, Drenchy,
free kick to Guiseley, won by Nicky Boschel. 2 yards in from the left-hand side, midway through the Lincoln half. This is real last chance saloon for Guiseley. Can we get the ball into the box? Can we press it over the line?
Drench is asking permission.
He's going for the cameras.
He's got it.
Stephen Drench is going forward.
He's got it. Go on, Drenchy. Oh.
Overhead kick. We saw one of those in the FA Cup, didn't we, this week?
We did. What a... Oh, come on.
Free kick now to come in from this left-hand side. All the Guiseley players inside the Lincoln half. It'll be 1-1 or 2-0, I think, now, is the way it sets up, because Stephen Drench's goal is empty. The ball to be distributed, floated in towards the back post. Guiseley go for it, headed away. Chance here now for Lincoln on the counter-attack, but the referee blows the whistle, and Lincoln have earned the 3 points this evening. Very disappointing from Guiseley's perspective, after Guiseley had pressed very well in the first 25 minutes of the second period, but on balance, really, I think Lincoln deserve it. The goal from Matt Reid on 17 minutes, the difference between the two sides. Finished here, Guiseley 0, Lincoln City 1.
It's been a composed, solid, if unspectacular performance from Lincoln. They'll be very satisfied with that, to have come away on a Friday night. They've taken the chance that they had. They created a few more in the second half. They'll go home very satisfied tonight. Guiseley, on the other hand, will rue missed opportunities Liam Dickinson in just the 3rd minute. George Marison hitting the George Marison. Who's he? George Maris hitting the crossbar. Numerous attacks that sort of fizzled out at the edge of the penalty area because there wasn't quite the oomph to get forward. It was a tightly fought contest between 2 mid-table teams. I think that's what we can take away from this. Guiseley were never completely outclassed. Lincoln were never completely on top. It could easily have gone the other way, I think, personally. You're right in that last 20 minutes that we didn't create enough. We were strangely hesitant to get the ball forward when with a couple of minutes left. What's Jake Lawler doing, hovering on the ball for the amount of time that he is? Get that ball in the box. I don't know. Was it the event? It's been a bit of an event this evening, hasn't it? Maybe we just froze a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it? When you look at it, yeah, of course, it's been a bit of an event. But actually, once the game gets on, I don't think any of them think about the cameras. I don't think that has even come into the mind this evening. We looked sharp, we looked bright in the early stages, didn't we? In the second half, we looked bright, we looked sharp, it looked open. This is a good Lincoln side, I think. Their fans certainly have been more optimistic about this side than previous years. In Liam Hearn and Matt Reid, you've got 2 very good strikers. Liam Hearn certainly looked very threatening in the last 20 minutes, and we couldn't really handle that, I thought, and craft the chances at the other end whilst being stretched defensively by the ball over the top, and the ability of Liam Hearn to just take defenders away from key positions. And I think as a result, we just couldn't find the sorts of ball to the width that we found with George Maris. We couldn't find the ball into the box that was going to really give somebody like an Adam Boyes or a Tom Craddock a chance. And in the end, I think it was a fine margin. But Lincoln, I think, take nothing away from that. I think they merited the 3 points over the course of the 90.
I think they looked a lot more composed on the ball throughout the match. When they came forward, it really felt like they came forward always with a plan. Whereas Guiseley, when they came forward, just a little bit trying to overplay it, just trying to overthink it and get caught up under their own feet. Whereas Lincoln have some excellent players that can break from deep. You saw how often Chris Bush broke from deep there. Matt Reid was a physical presence somewhere in between Rob Atkinson and Adam Lockwood that just, as you say, kept them occupied for the entire evening.
Well, thanks very much for tuning in tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. Right, not the professional veneer that you might have got from other broadcasters, but hey, thank you for everyone who's tuned in this evening just to show your solidarity with us. We couldn't bring you the result we wanted. It's finished Guiseley's, ended Guiseley's good unbeaten run of 7 games. Finished here Guiseley 0, Lincoln 1. We'll be back on Tuesday night to face Macclesfield. Hope you'll join us. Hope you'll be joining us down at Nethermore. See you then.